One of my stocks recently had an absolutely ridiculous day, up over 25% in a single day. And it's because their Q1 2024 earnings blew estimations out of the water. They raised guidance. The company's firing on all cylinders. And I want to dive into it. And I want to say, if you would have seen my video, 8 months, it was something like $11 beast stock that you've never heard of. I go through the stock, I talk about it. $11 was the stock price. It was actually a little bit below $11. So if you were to have bought this company then, you would be up a whopping 270%. And I started my other video like this, and I'm going to start this video like this too. Is this a tech company? Is this a biotech company? Is this some software as a service company? Some AI play? Nope, 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 nope. It's a food company, okay? So the ticker that we're talking about, the stock we're talking about, is VITL Farms. They sell butter, they sell eggs. That's pretty much it. Really easy and simple business model to understand. That's why I was trying to put people on it about 8 months ago. This video only got like 1,000 views. Just like always, if I don't talk about some hyper popular stock, it gets way less views. So only 1,000 people saw this stock. 1,000 people saw the opportunity to get a 270% gain over an 8-month span. VITL Farms has been getting way more respect from the market, and we're going to talk about exactly why and how you can identify an undervalued asset in the future. I'm excited to get into all this. If you're new here, I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of cloudbusinesssuite.com. I'm also a stock market investor, and most importantly for this video, I'm a shareholder of VITL Farms, and I have been for multiple years now, and I am a very happy shareholder, especially over the past year with the stock, as the market has given it more and more respect, as I figured it would, as they kept on reporting beastly numbers, beating revenue by a little bit every single quarter and beating EPS by crazy percentages. 100+% beats on the EPS side, quarter in and quarter out for the last 4 quarters. Absolutely amazing. So let's dive into it. First thing is, when you get a company that's at a fair valuation of about a 30 PE, which is a little bit high, but not super high for a company that's growing like VITL Farms in the mid to high 20%. So a 30 trailing PE, but the forward PE was 15. I knew that the stock was going to get way more profitable over the next year because the company and the management team has a history of coming in and beating their own estimation of what they were going to report based on their guidance. And that 15 forward PE ended up being actually too high. They came in and reported a double up of the estimations on the EPS side 4 quarters in a row. So if analysts were correct, they actually would have had that forward PE at 7.5 whenever I was buying the stock in the $10 and $11 range. But they had it at a 15, and I said in my video prior that I think that forward PE of 15 is actually a little bit too high because I think they're going to crush those earnings estimates. That is exactly what happened. So if you've got a company that has a track record of beating numbers every single time, especially EPS numbers, because we know that stocks follow earnings over the long term, and it's at a fair valuation or arguably undervalued on a forward basis, you gotta buy that stock. And when you've got all that, along with the enterprise value being millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars lower than the market cap, that's an indicator that the balance sheet is also in an amazing spot, and this management team is doing a great job of capital management. In Q1 2024, the quarter they just reported, $300 million worth of assets and only $86 million of total liabilities, not just current liabilities, not just long-term liabilities, but total liabilities. And that includes lease agreements, deferred revenue, etc. But there's no debt on the books. They do not owe anyone anything as it relates to debt with an interest rate. More than $100 million of cash, no debt. What else can you ask for when you have an undervalued stock growing in the mid to high 20% with EPS growing in the triple digits? They over doubled their EPS in a 1-year span from 16 cents to 43 cents. Now that I think about it, that's almost a 3x of the EPS. That's ridiculous. You're not going to get that with most companies out there. It's very rare to see that. This company's been profitable for over a year now, and this can only mean good things for the stock. Index inclusion is probably coming. This is a small market cap company at about 1.5 billion. So being in the S&P small cap or the S&P mid cap is probably going to be in the future of VITL Farms, along with continuing to grow that revenue, continuing to grow the operating income, continuing to grow the net income. They raised their guidance in Q1, and the guidance they had prior was already extremely impressive. I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. This is an absolutely amazing company. I will be holding the stock for many years. Yes, I have nearly a 200% gain on my shares, but I'm not going to be selling anytime soon. I was buying shares all the way up to $17.50. I was buying light at those higher ranges. I was buying heavier at the lower ranges, like $10, $11, $12. I have fully built out my position. If Vital Farms drops in any meaningful way, which I don't see that happening in the near future, I'll pick up some bonus shares, but I'm not going to be out there buying like crazy. I have built the position. I built it to about a 3% weight. The stock has run substantially, and it's actually a pretty large weight in my portfolio, and I didn't expect it to happen that quick with such a crazy run up into the $30 range. But I'm super happy it's happened, and I hope you can go out there and find some similar stocks that are at those low PEs with way lower forward PEs, history of beating revenue, history of beating EPS more importantly, with extremely strong balance sheets. So my advice on this video is do the fundamentals work and look into so many different companies. If you buy products from a company, look into that stock and see if there's value there. See if you've got an undervalued asset on your hands. That's what I did with Vital Farms. I used that product. I love that product. So I thought, you know what? Let me check out Vital Farms stock. That's what got this whole ball rolling. I used my eyes. I used what Peter Lynch taught me in the book, One Up on Wall Street, to use what I know to have an edge on Wall Street. And I know a lot about health foods, and I know a lot about Vital Farms specifically in eggs and butter. I know that sounds kind of crazy and silly, but hey, it worked out really well for me. And I think the story is going to continue to get better with Vital Farms. I'm curious if you saw my first video on Vital Farms. If you saw that first video, let me know in the comments below. If this is the first time you heard of this company, also let me know. I know it's a way smaller market cap company, and a lot of people have never even heard of the stock before. Let me know. I want to hear your comments. And also let me know of any stocks that are way less known companies that you think are absolutely amazing deals. I'm always looking into a plethora of different companies. Not everything is a good deal. Most stocks are not a good deal, but I'm always willing to look into stocks. If you're interested in hearing more about opportunities like this, I talk about opportunities like this on my Patreon all the time. I recently made a post called The Most Undervalued and Underappreciated Stock. I made that in the Patreon. It details why I think it's an undervalued and underappreciated stock and whether or not it's an opportunity to buy right now. Go ahead and check out the Patreon if you're interested in that. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day.